Hello everyone and welcome back to SaiyanSquabbles. I'm yours truly, Papa Ping Pong, here to bring you another card discussion, this time featuring probably my favorite expansion we have ever received, Anniversary Box 2020. These cards are amazing, support so many old archetypes, and make so many new archetypes very, very powerful and give a lot of very good options. So hopefully you guys are all staying safe. I hope you're all staying out of the chaos and are healthy. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first off, we have this new Unison, which I wasn't expecting Unisons this box, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe I missed something, but I don't mind. I like that we're getting a lot of options early, but it's a 2-drop red, Frost for the Clan. Blocker, active main, if your leader card is a red Frieza BR card, look up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Interesting that it's 4, not 5. Add up to 1 mono red extra card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Just basically an extra draw one for Frieza BR is really nice because Frieza already has a search top 5 and this guy just gives you another search top 4. So of course it has to be mono red, so it makes your options a little more limited. So for example, my Invoker or my multicolor Frost deck would have a hard time using this, but it's still pretty good. And then a -2 if your leader card is a red Frieza BR card, add up to 2 mono red extra cards from your drop area to your hand. Cool, it's a -2 to go +2. Again, mono red, but it's really not a big deal. And this guy is a blocker, so don't forget about that either. And if your opponent really wants to remove this, that's not that bad for Frieza BR because he wants to stay at high life for a while. He doesn't need to awaken to be a threat. So then we got a 3-drop Unison, 20k, Jiren Legend of Universe 7, or Universe 11. Auto, when your opponent plays a battle card or Unison card, you may choose that card. It gets -10k power for the turn. If you do, negate this skill for the turn. Very, very powerful because this is something that hits even Unison cards, and not a lot of Unison cards enter play effects, but this can I mostly like it because it chooses battle cards. So if you run this with Baby, you can play the 8 Baby turn 2, and then go into this guy turn 3, and you're minusing 30k on stuff pretty much every turn. And this guy does hit Unison, so black Unisons are giving you an issue. A lot of them are 5ks or 10ks. They just go to the drop area, and then of course negate the skill for the turn. And then +1, this card gives double strike. That is just stupid good. I really, really like that. Not much more to talk about other than it's a finisher. And it's a +1, which is silly. And -3, active battle. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets -25k power for the turn. Another just really solid effect. It's like the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Concentrated Destruction. Except it is a -3 and it has to be during battle, but that's not really a big deal. But I really like this Unison. Probably one of the few expensive Unisons I'd play. Son Goku Resolve Renewed. So this is for set 2 Vegito. Counterattack. So it's a 3-drop 10k Goku. Counterattack. Negate the attack and play this card permanent. If you have 3 or more energy, reduce this card in your hand by 2. Cool. So it becomes a 1-drop. But also active main for 1 red if your lead card is a Vegito card. And you add 1 card from your life to your hand. Play this card from your hand. Excuse me. So basically, he's a 1-cost either way, and a Self-Awakener for Vegito, which is super important. That's mostly what he needs, is a more consistent Self-Awakening, and this guy also bolsters his chain. So this Vegeta has the exact same permanent. He's a 3-drop 10k, so the exact same stats. Counterplay, if the card being played has 15k power or less, it is placed in someone's drop area instead of being played, then play this card. That's really good, especially during turn 3 and beyond, basically, where he's a 1-drop. He's a 1-drop, slightly weaker Denial of Hope. He's basically a Beerus Ball, but you can play him at max life. But auto or active main for 1 red, and he has the exact same active main as Goku. And fun fact, if you want to do like a red-blue variant, these guys are targets for Gogetas and stuff like that, because they are 10k. Vegito Resolve Combined, 5-drop. Barrier Union Potara, if your leader card is a red Vegito card and you draw 2 cards, fuse them on a Son Goku and Vegeta. So if he replaces, or he doesn't even replace himself, you get these 2 on board, then you can turn 2, go into this guy. Which is pretty silly, because again, you draw 2 barrier, and he's a 5-drop 25k, so he's getting around most counterplays. Active main battle for 2 red, play up to 1 Vegito card with energy cost of 7 or less from your deck on top of this card, then shuffle your deck. So we have I believe Repeated Force is a 10 drop. If not, we have 2 targets, Hyper Rush and Repeated Force, but I think Repeated Force is a 10 drop. I don't remember correctly, but it's still pretty good. If he's being attacked, you can just swap him out, basically. Oh wait, no, because it doesn't, it says on top of this card, so, and it doesn't say back to active mode. But that's still pretty cool. I don't really know where battle would come in, to be honest, but that's still pretty nice. And an active main for 4 red, choose one Vegito card with energy cost of 10 or less in your hand and play it on top of this card. So this only allows you to play from deck, but this allows you to play from hand. Also, it hits the secret rare, which is silly. Triple strike, triple attack. It can be counterplayed, but that's still really good. And most people are going to see it coming when you play this guy. Frieza, Irate Emperor. 7 drop, 25k, 5 red energy. If there are 5 or more red extra cards in your drop area, play this card from your hand. That's just, I think this is going to be replacing the other 7 drop. This guy's just going to be coming out a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. Auto, if your leader card is a red Frieza's army card and there are 2 more mono red extra cards in your drop area, when this card is used in a combo, which is one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. That's just pretty good. You basically a 20k combo for 1 energy. I think that's pretty effective. Pretty much it to say about him. I think he's going to be a staple in Frieza VR if he becomes a big thing after this. Planet Vegeta's Final Moments, 1 drop, counter attack, negate the attack, then if your leader card is a red Frieza VR card, choose all of your and your opponent's leader cards and battle cards, and they get minus 10k power for the turn. So this is basically giving your opponent's entire board minus 10. Just very effective for early game or if your opponent's going wide to just give your VR leader that much extra survivability. So we got Janemba, Wicked Agent of Destruction. He's 2 drop, 15k, active main. You and your opponent, or active main for +0. You and your opponent draw 1 card, then your opponent places the top card of their deck in the drop area. That's really good because you're basically making your opponent mill 2. They are drawing a card and gaining advantage, but you're still making them remove 2 cards from their deck. Combined with the leader, Mill Nemba leader, you're making them mill 4 a turn. So that's just really good. But you aren't getting counters, which I think is fair. If you gain a counter from that, I think they'd be pretty strong. +1, active main, this card gets critical for the turn. So this can also pivot into the other Janemba strategy where you're critting your opponent. -2, active main battle. If your opponent has 15 or less cards in deck, this card gets 50k power and, oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm so tired. This card gets 15k power and triple strike for the turn. So the other leader does mill, so this, the counterplay leader does mill. So this effect can be live, but it's obviously going to be more live in Mill Nemba, and this is good for something like Vegex as well. It finally gives you a better win condition against Vegex, which is pretty nice. So now we're getting into the new Agents of Destruction. Turles, Chaotic Agent of Destruction, 2 drop, 15k, barrier unique. When this card attacks, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 card with Agent of Destruction in its name, in its card name among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, just so you guys know, slight spoiler, we are getting an Agents of Destruction leader this set, and he can play 2 drops for free, so that makes this guy way better. You can only have 1 on board, which is perfectly fine, but a 2-drop barrier, your opponent can't remove him with most skills, so he's going to have to swing into it, otherwise you're pretty much plussing every turn with this guy. So very, very strong. Again, you can play him for free, which is insane. 4-drop Janemba, Raging Incarnation of Evil. 4-drop 20k, deflect critical, so very similar to a lot of the Janembas we already know about. Auto, when this card is played, activate the skill. At the start of your opponent's next turn, switch up to 3 mono blue energy to active mode, then draw 1 card. I think there's going to be seeing more play in the critical Janemba strategy, and he has 4 specified costs. That's kind of important to note. So probably more in the Janemba, the counterplay strategy, the critical beatdown strategy. I'm trying to think of the technical name for that Janemba, but so next we got our combo attack Janemba, 2-drop 15k, active main burst 2, choose 1 evil incarnate card or demon card in your battle area other than copies of this card and return it to its owner's hand. Play this card from your hand, then add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. That is really good. You basically play this guy for free by bursting 2. And you self-awaken, and that's mostly what the counterplay deck and even the Janemba deck kind of you know, might need to do in certain situations, but especially the counterplay Janemba deck. I think this is going to be very, very nice, and makes me want to run the leader again. If you guys remember, that was one of the first, I think actually the second profile I ever did on the channel, maybe the third, was a critical Janemba deck profile, so I'm really excited to put this in. So we have Restoration, a 1-drop counterattack. Negate the attack, then if your card is a blue Android 21 card, and you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, choose up to one Android 16 card with the energy cost of 2 or less in your hand, and play it. So that's super good. You can, I'm pretty sure there's an effect to restand your multicolor depending on which leader you run. But not only that, but if you tap 2, or you can get, basically you can spam Android 16s out a lot faster and ramp a lot faster. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't gather my thoughts about it for some reason. But that is a very, very good negate. I think you're probably going to be running 3 of these 4-dimension magics. Maybe 2 of these 4-dimension magics. I don't know, but that's a really good card. This card is really insane. So Vegeta, Resolute Agent of Destruction, 4-drop, 20k, Unison. So he's got Double Strike, Critical Base, which is already a ridiculous combo. Auto, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. When this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO them. Another really good effect. That is an enter play effect, not a tick effect. So +1. Active main, this card gets plus 5k power for the turn, so just 25k double strike critical pretty much all the time. Active main -5, if your leader card is an evil wizard card or all of your energy is mono green, or all of your energy is mono green. So keep that in mind. Choose 3 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. That is insanely good, especially if you tap this guy for 6. You're just ripping 3 cards from your opponent's hand, and if you have a pre-established board, if you're playing green, you can potentially sell X immediately after that. So you can rip 6 cards in 1 turn with this guy. You're wiping a board, and you still have a double strike critical swing after that. This guy is definitely going to see play, I feel, especially in the Agents of Destruction deck, because he has a way to make him even better. So then we got Gokuul, the Legendary Fusion Warrior, 1-drop, 1001. When this card is played, add it to 1 green card from your with an energy cost of 6 or less and a Union Fusion skill from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is going to be mostly green Gotenks stuff. Active main for 1 green, place this card in its owner's drop area, then choose 1 card in your hand with a Union Fusion skill and reveal it. For each character name required for the revealed card's Union skill, add it to 1 card with the matching character name and energy cost between 3 and 7 from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. That is so specific, and a lot for me to process right now. But basically, you can add the Goten and Trunks for Gotenks to your hand with that effect. So, it's pretty good. So, Sun Goten and Trunks, Faultless Youth, 3-drop 15k. For active main, 1 green, for your card is a green Gotenks card, and you place 1 card in your life in your drop area, play this card in your hand, from your hand. So it's not once per turn, so you can play multiple copies of this card in 1 turn, so that's pretty cool. And Self-Awakening, although you're critting life, green has a lot of drop area interaction, so that's probably fine. Active main, for your card is green Gotenks card, and you return this card to its owner's hand. Look up to 5 cards on the top of your deck, add it to 1 green Gotenks card or 1 green Unison card at specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's pretty good. Just, excuse me. Just being able to return to your hand and get a searcher, and then you can use this effect again if you would like to. Pretty good, and it's a 15k swing, so it's always nice. Gotenks, the Grim Reaper of Justice. So he's a 6-drop, deflect, dual attack, 25k. Union Fusion for 2, so you can play this guy for 2 energy, which is super good. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card, when this card is played, draw 2 cards and choose a 20 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Auto, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO, choose a 1 green, add up to 1 Sun Goten card and up to 1 Trunks Youth card from your drop area to your hand. So this is not specified cost, so you can potentially run multicolor and stuff in this deck, like blue-green, green-yellow, etc., etc. If you get 2 of these guys out, turn 2 and turn 3, you can play Cell X, which is, of course, Cell X is just a really good secret rare at all times. I don't really know how this is going to mesh in Green Gotenks, because Green Gotenks was never very good, because the deck relies on you to have less cards than your opponent, and this seems like you're going to be drawing a lot. I don't really know how they're going to do it, but I don't think this is the support he needs, but oh well. So Chilai and Lemo, 2-drop Deflect. If your leader card is a green Shenron card, when this card is played, choose one. Place up to 2 cards of Dragon Ball skills from your deck in your drop area, shuffle your deck, then draw 1 card. Or I put 1 green Desire card from your drop area to your hand. I don't know if I said it, but it's a 2-drop 10k over there. So Deflect, so the skill's going off pretty much no matter what. And you get to send 2 battle, or you basically get to awaken a lot faster. You're still plussing 1 after, you're basically getting 3 cards out of your deck, which is really nice, very consistent. Or just add a green Desire. Pretty simple. And this guy can be played with assembling the squad too, because it does not specify from hand, so that's pretty cool. So this plus the Oob is going to be a really good combination. So 3-drop, 3 specified green, 20k, Broly, Invincible Agent of Destruction. Active main for 1 colorless. Discard this card from your hand up to 1 card with Agent of Destruction in its name from your drop area to your hand. Auto, when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less, KO it, then look up to 3 cards on the top of your deck, add 1 card among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards in your drop area. That is really good. You're just KOing something with 5 or less, which is most targets in the game. Then you're adding 1 of anything to your hand. And remember, there's a Bobbity that exists that reduces all Agent of Destruction card cost in your hand by 1, so it becomes a 2 cost. So that's going to be really, really strong, and I just think that this in generic green strategies might not be a bad idea either. But he is susceptible to a lot of counterplay, so maybe, we'll see. Lord Slug, Mighty Agent of Destruction. This one's very interesting to me. 2-drop 15k, super combo unique. Auto, when your opponent activates a counterplay skill, they choose 2 cards in their hand and discard them. I'm really happy this card is a thing now. It's not leader locked either. It is 2 specified green, but it is not leader locked. And it's taking up a super combo slot, but it doesn't do anything when it's super combos, which is a very interesting way to make very powerful cards even more limited. Because super combo spot is super, super tight and unique. You can only have 1 on your board on top of that. But my my teammate and I were actually discussing that we think a card like this should exist, but it'd need very big stipulations, very, very big stipulations, and I think this nailed it. Because counterplays, I feel, are really necessary for the game, but sometimes can get out of hand, and this is a good way to keep it in check, I feel like, for green. But that's also just a very powerful skill, but you can only have 1 on board, and if you ran this guy, it takes up a super combo spot. So take with it what you will. For all I know, he might end up being garbage, but again, Bobbity makes him a 1 cost, and the new leader can play him for free. Android 13, Exterminating Agent of Destruction, 2-drop 15k, or basically a 1-drop. An Agents of Destruction counterplay if your leader card is Agent of Destruction in its card name, which this is going to get errated because technically the leader has Agents of Destruction in its name. But if the battle card being played is an energy cost of 3 or less, it is placed in its owner's drop area instead of being played. Play this card, then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and it discards it. So you're negating something if a play of 3 or less and your opponent discards a card. That's just really good, especially because he's a 1 cost, basically. When this card is played, shuffle up to total 2 evil wizard cards and or Agent Destruction cards and their card names from your drop area into your deck. Cool, I guess. I don't really know what you're going to want to be recurring, but we'll see. So, Allied Reinforcements, 2-drop Desire. Active main, if your leader card is a Chilai BR/Lemo BR, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, choose 1. If you have no cards in your battle area, play up to 1 green Broly card with an energy cost of 4 from your deck, and up to 1 green Chilai BR or Lemo BR card from your deck, then shuffle your deck. That's just really cool, the fact that you can do this turn 2 pretty consistently. And turn 1, I believe you're going to be probably searching for Dragon Balls or anything like that. So it's going to be pretty common for you to not have anything turn 1, I feel. And then the second effect, play up to 1 green Chilai BR Lemo BR card from your drop area. Cool. I think it's a good card. There's just not a lot to talk about with it. King Vegeta Royal Pride, 2-drop 15k Unison, active main for that's +1. If your leader card is yellow, look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 mono yellow grade 8 card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Very good consistency booster for apes, and just a really good unison for that. Active main -4, play up to 2 mono yellow grade 8 cards of different names and energy cost of 4 or less from your deck, then shuffle your deck. basically March of the Great Apes in a Unison card, which is very, very good, especially because if you wanted to, you could still play March of the Great Apes after that. You can get 4 4-drop or less apes on the board, plus drawing 2 cards. I think this is going to be a staple Unison going forward in Great Ape strategies. Great Ape Bardock, Might of the Resistance, 4-drop, 15k. Unique critical blocker. Permanent, you can only play mono yellow Saiyan cards. Auto, if your lead card is yellow, at the end of the battle where this card is used in a combo, play this from your hand, play this card. If you have King Vegeta on board, he becomes a 0 cost, so he's basically a super combo that comes into play. He's a critical blocker, and with Planet Vegeta out, he restands. That is very good, and this is barely a restriction, especially because you can remove him from your board pretty easily if you're that worried. So moving on, Bojack, Galactic Disruptor, 3-drop, 15k. Active main, if you have 2 or more Bojack Brigade cards in play in your battle area, play this card from your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. That is super, super good for this deck. And then active main, if your leader card is a yellow Bojack card and it's on its front side, and you have 2 or more energy, and you discard this card from your hand, flip your leader to its backside, then draw 2 cards. This card is all the Bojack archetype needs, I feel. I think we talked about it in my ranked video, talking about all the leaders. I honestly think this is all Bojack support needed, and this is super, super good. That's basically all I have to say. You're awakening turn 2 almost every time, very consistently, and you get a 3-drop target out for free for the 8-drop or 7 or 8-drop Bojack. I don't remember how much it is, but that's amazing. But that's not everything that we got. Violent Rush Zengya, 2-drop. 3k, so I believe it's a target for whichever one plays out Zengya. If your leader card is a Bojack Brigade card, when this card is used in a combo from your battle area, it gets plus 5k combo power for the battle. And then auto at the end of the turn, when this card is used in a combo from your battle area, return this card to its owner's hand. So you can play her out for free, I believe. Combo with her, return her to your hand. So you're plussing 1 and you're giving something 10k. And if we remember Bojack's leader effect, if you have a Bojack Brigade in your combo area, you get to draw 1 card. So she's basically a super combo for Bojack's Brigade that returns to your hand. So that's really good. So we got Garlic Jr., Immortal Agent of Destruction, 2-drop, 1-drop, counterattack, negate the attack and play this card. Auto, when this card is played, play up to 1 Agent of Destruction card with energy cost of 2 or less other than copies of this card from your deck with its skills negated for the turn, then shuffle your deck. Cool. I think that's because you're going to be playing this on your opponent's turn more often than not. You get to play out another 2-drop body. It can be the Turles and help you search even more because its skills are negated only for the turn. Then we got the Agents of Destruction Strike Back. It's a 1-drop extra card, permanent. This card gains Agent of Destruction in all areas, which is important if you want to shuffle it or search it. Active main, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 2 cards with Agent of Destruction and their card names among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, and you can't activate copies of this card for the turn. If you added cards to your hand, up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So you're gonna basically plus 3 for 1 energy, which is insane. You could do this turn 1 and not have any battle cards out and just plus 3 potentially, and self-awaken and everything. Something I do want to note, Bandai is only amazing with the art, because these guys do look amazing, but one thing I feel like is a little lame is they reuse this card art for almost every single AOD. I think actually every single AOD. It's there again, and I think we're going to get to another AOD, but you guys will see. Full Moon, 1-drop extra card. Permanent, if you have a Great Ape card in play in your battle area, you can activate this card's active battle skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Pretty good. Active battle, choose one of your mono yellow cards and it gets plus 10k power for the battle. If it's your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 Great Ape card in your battle area and switch to active mode. That's just really good. It's a free 10k combo card, and you get to switch an ape that you've locked with to active mode, which there's plenty of targets. So now let's get to the leader, which this leader I definitely think is going to be seeing meta play. Bobbity, leader of the Agents of Destruction. Treat all Agents of Destruction cards in your hand as if they have no specified cost, which is perfect. Auto, when this card attacks, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Look up to 5 cards on the top of your deck, add up to 1 AOD. Card with AOD and its card name to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it's basically a Zamasu in that way. And then Awaken, if your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card and restand 1. Majin Buu, leader of the Agents of Destruction. Yeah, okay. Leader of the Agents of Destruction. 15k, tree, same permanent, and active main once per turn. Choose one Agent of Destruction card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it, which is just amazing because the Bobbity reduces everything in your hand by 1. So you can even play 3 drops. And then active main once per turn. For 3, choose one Unison card with the Agent of Destruction and its card name in your hand and play it with 3 markers on it. So you could do the Janemba if you wanted to, but you're mostly going to be hitting that Vegeta target for his auto. So this is going to be really good, and I definitely think it's going to be seeing meta play. The free 2 or less, and this to play that Unison early. And all the Agents of Destruction we're getting is just, plus the old ones we have, this leader is going to be, I feel, really, really good. So next up we got Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Saiyan Scions. It's a Unison, Black Unison, 10k, so it's a 1-drop. Active main for +1. Choose this card in all your skills battle cards and you get plus 5k power for the turn. Cool. Becomes a 15k swing every turn, and you can potentially push for game pretty easily with this guy. Active main, play up to for -1. Play up to 2 skillless battle cards with energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop area, and then shuffle your deck if you look through it. I guess some incentive to play 1-drops if you care that much. If you're playing this guy, you're probably going to play like 4 1-drops, maybe. I don't really know. But active main, shuffle 2 skills battle cards from your drop area into your deck, and draw 2 cards. The deck already draws an insane amount, but if you're playing a leader that isn't skillless Goku, that is a very powerful effect, especially maybe for a hit. Maybe that's not a bad idea for a hit. I don't know. Might actually keep an eye on that. So Son Goku and Android 8, Bonds of Battle. He's a 2-drop, black card, permanent. This card and skillless battle cards in your battle area can be used as combo in rest mode. That's just a nice permanent. I don't think it's going to be game breaking or anything. Auto, if your card is a black Son Goku childhood card, when this card is played, up to 1 card from your left to your hand, then play up to 2 skillless battle cards with 10k power from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. That's pretty cool. You can play this guy turn 1 and this guy turn 2. You can get 4 10-drop skillless battle cards out and give them all 15k. That's actually pretty strong. That's a lot of swings. Hachiyak, Vengeful Agent of Destruction, and we gotta start wrapping this up. Vengeful Agent of Destruction, so he's basically a 2-drop, but 3-drop. Active main for 1 energy, discard this card from your hand, play up to 1 Evil Wizard Bobbity card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck to look through it. So basically a more consistent way to play the Bobbity. That's kind of what you needed, because if you couldn't find it, the deck kind of sucked. But not that these guys really, the new AODs don't really suck, but having that card is just even better. Auto, when this card is played, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 4 or less, send it to its owner's warp, then place up to 3 battle cards in your opponent's drop area at the bottom of their decks in any order. So that's just a good effect. Then that might see play outside of AOD, being able to shuffle 3 cards from your opponent's drop area into their deck with Saiyan Instincts and stuff, and Ribrianne running around. That might be pretty well, and you're removing something. And this is a 2-drop again in AOD, that you can play this guy for free. Hachiyak, Mad with Hate, 9-drop, triple attack, X evolve with energy cost of 8. When a card evolves into this card, switches card to active mode. When your opponent activates a counter skill, they choose 1 card in their hand and send it through warp. Very, very good Hachiyak support. Just remember, this card cannot be reshuffled into your deck, so it has to be an energy cost between 3 or 7. So that's the only downside of this card, I feel. But he has a 5k combo in hand as well. But this might be what Hachiyak needs to see meta relevancy again. This is very powerful. So last, or not last, but last of the black cards. Oh, I should mention, this is free, so you're getting 5 attacks with Hachiyak. And if you play Fu that same turn, your opponent's setting 2 cards from their warp if they activate a counter skill. That's pretty insane. But anyway, max power Kamehameha, 1-drop counterattack, negate the attack. You may send 4 cards from your drop area to your warp. If you do, return this card from your drop area to your hand, and you can't activate copies of the card for the turn. So basically a recurring negate, which can be very powerful in any black deck, or even certain decks that want to burst. So it's pretty good. Or my bad, it's drop area to your warp. So not burst, but have bursting effects. Active main, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost greater than their current energy, and send it to its owner's warp. Very, very good. I think that alone could have been its own card with this active main, but this just makes it that much better. This feels like SR territory. But Violent Rush Bojack, energy exhaust, barrier unique, ages blue-yellow once per turn, arrival blue-yellow. When this card activates Aegis Blue-Yellow skill, draw one card. So this guy's basically a one-drop that allows you to draw one card when you activate Aegis. Aegis isn't a great skill, but this I think is a fair way of balancing out Aegis. Again, turn one play, turn one play, pretty good I feel. And last card, Super 17, Hell's Ultimate Weapon. Permanent, or 5-drop 25k energy exhaust. If your card is a blue Android 21 card, negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. So you can play this turn one, and then with the negate, play an Android 16. That is, wow, okay, that is really good. Active main for 2 blue, 2 green, 3 colorless. Play this card from your energy area, then play up to 3 Android cards, energy cost of 5 or less from your energy area. Wow, that is really good. You can play lots of bad omens off of this. For 7 energy, that's 1 turn faster than even Android 21. You could potentially crit 4 life. Wow, that is, wow, okay, that's pretty good. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's not a single card I think that is bad out of this entire box. I think this is the best expansion we have ever received, and thank you Bandai for making an amazing anniversary box. Make sure to pick up your copies. I'm probably going to be picking up at least 2 boxes, hopefully a case, to show off to you guys. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. See ya.